Well, today is shop day, and I'm going to do a couple of things. I have a fluorescent, not a fluorescent, I have LED lights like these. I have one that I'm going to put in my buffing room because it's really dark in there. I'm just going to drop that ceiling fan and a light kit. The ceiling fan doesn't work anyway. And I'm just going to connect right into that wire so I can turn it off, on and off using the light switch on the wall. And I'm going to take this table off here. I have a piece of angle here, and I'm going to, let me unplug and slide over here. This angle here is too flexible, and you can't get this table square. You see how much it flexes? You got to have no flex in that thing, or I mean, if you want to be able to repeat your bevels over and over. So I'm going to make this angle work here, and I'm probably going to put another bolt hole back here, or maybe here. It depends on where it would come through. I think I can right about here put another nut and a bolt through it, and that's today's project. But I sort of got sidetracked, diverted. Oh, phone call. This is an old clock that I've had for a while, and I'm going to sand all the numbers and everything off of it. I'm going to paint it black, and then in red letters I'm going to put BC Blades, and probably going to hang it up right there. So let me get this project started. We're getting there. And I know you want to ask me how long it's taken me to do this, or how long I think it will take to get all these numbers off of here. About 12 hours. Get it? 12 hours. Oh, come on, that was funny. Well, I just ran up to the hardware store and got some paint. I found some stencils in the garage. And I've never had a lot of luck with stencils, but I'm going to try them again, and if I mess it up, I'll just paint over it one more time. But the stencils are a little bit too big for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You think you'll be able to read that? Huh. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. It's all I got. And I got a whole bunch of numbers over here, or maybe aren't there any letters in there? Well, there are some letters. Yeah, nothing. Just a bunch of different letters. Okay, it's nothing I can use. All right, so let me get started. I'm going to take this outside and hit it with that gloss black spray paint. Well, there's the black paint. First coat. I'm going to put 2 coats on. I'll let that dry about half an hour or so, and put a second coat on. I'll let that dry about an hour, and then I'll come back with the red and put my letters on. I'm not going to shim this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sand this flush. I'm going to sand these mating surfaces flush. I put this on the bench grinder, and I sanded them flush. So these probably aren't exactly square, and I'm going to see if sanding them flat will eliminate the need for shims, and on this side too. There's a lot of paint here. I think I know what the problem was.
Ooh.
The problem, why I was not square. I put this on my belt sander, and this side was definitely high, which would definitely throw, it doesn't take much, 30-second to throw this end off, you know, 1/8 of an inch. So, yeah, this side ground down first, and then it slowly worked, the grinding slowly worked its way across the other end of the mounting area. So I think I solved that problem. I am going to go ahead and hit the side of that with some sandpaper, just in case there's a lump there that I don't know of. But I want everything to mate square, so let me get that done. Let's see if I can show you. It was high here. So
Where was it, hon?
Up top here, where it sands first.
Oh.
I'm using a flat piece of metal bar, and when you can see when it hits the high spots. Let me see if I can. Yeah. See, the bottom still has a lot more paint on it, and the top got shiny much faster. So I'm just going to use up this last piece of sandpaper on this and call that a day. I've rubbed a lot of metal off there. I don't think I'm ever going to get it square down to the paint because this is cast, so there's lots of deep pits. But I think I'm making some headway. Let me get this sanded and put back together, and we'll put the square back on it. I'm square this away. I'm square this away. But I'm still not square this way. I'm not off by much anymore. I'm off about half what I was. So I'm gonna try the old beer can shim at the top of this. Coke can, soda can. You wanna go get me a soda? I'll let you drive the Gator. You think you can drive the Gator by yourself? All right. We'll have to drink that Dr. Pepper. All right, I have made a new bracket, and I'll show you what it looks like, but I've still got some fixing to do. I gotta shave a little bit right off of here, but let me check for square here. See, I'm still off, and I know what to do now. I'm going to put a shim in it to bring this table up, but I am on this way. I'm on. So let me get this back off and get this shimmed out, and then I got to drill a hole. When I get it 100% square, I'm going to drill a hole right through here and suck this down tight so I can't move anymore. Oh,
Hello.
Billy wants to say hi. Sup, G? What do we do to your shed today?
We put the stencils on.
Put your name on it. Billy Goat's Garage. Alrighty. Back to work. Well, I put it back together and it was still not square this away, and I'm pretty sure the bottom of this is kicked out too far or not forged right. There's absolutely no trimming and polishing, and there's no squaring this after it's cast. So and this is not made for what I'm doing. It works, but this is not a precision machine by any means. So what I did was the bracket that I made, I put it on my belt grinder, and I ground some off the bottom to sort of kick it back this way. And I'm just going to have to trial and error, do a little at a time, and bring it back to square. I'm square this way, but I'm not square this way. I'm too low down here, and I'm going to get that fixed. And let me put this back together and see where I am. All right, here's a little piece of a Dr. Pepper can that I'm going to slide it right up in here. I'm just going to lay it on there like that, and then tighten it back down. And if that's not enough, I'll do 2. That is it. One time, perfect. All right. Now I got to get real wrenches because I've been using pliers like a redneck, and I got to tighten everything down super tight. Well, there's project 2 completed.
Haha.
and my little shim did the trick. So I'm still working on my saw blade BC Knives thing, and I just put the second coat of black on it. We had to go back to the hardware store to get two of them, these bolts here, and this morning I had to get these two. I should have just got them all. I didn't know I was gonna need two more. Anyway, it's just a mile down the road, but that's done. That's good. That's squared. That's solid, and it ain't gonna move while I'm working on a blade. So what I got left is to hang the light, the LED light in the buffing room, and to finish up my saw blade. The saw blade with my BC Knives logo, it's just, I got it. It looks good. I painted it black, and I tried the stencil, and it did not work well. So I'm gonna have to get some paint that you put on with a brush and daub it on that way, because spraying it on, it went everywhere and made a huge mess, and I had to sand it all back down and repaint it black. But I'll get to it. I gotta let it dry. My light, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in 2 seconds, but in the meantime, I'm going over every single thing I have that the knife rides on or up against. And this is the grinding jig that I made. I have a video, BC homemade knife grinding jig or something like that. If I can remember, I'll put a link in the description. And what this is some of those plastic cutting boards that I screwed together to make, I cut it to size and then screwed them together with glue and everything. Just a couple of hinges, wing nut, lock nut, a couple of corner brackets. And what I do is when I grind my bevels, here, let me shut this off and I'll show you right back. Okay, I attach the knife to my jig with a bolt. And then I take a black magic marker and I blacken the edge of this, and then I find the center. You can do that different ways. You can do it with a drill bit. You can do it with calipers. And what I'm trying to do is measure everything to make sure it's exactly perfectly square. The problem I'm having is making repetitive bevels that come down at the same height and meet in the middle at the same time as the other side. I'm not the only beginning knife maker that has to struggle through this, but what I am trying to eliminate is all the tiny microscopic variables, like getting that 100% square on level. Now I'm going to do the same to this. These two holes, I checked for the height of each hole, and they are exact. So now when I determine what level I put this blade at, whether I move it down here or whether I move it up here, I look at this side and I make it flush with the top. But what I've realized is that this side, I just cut this with my bandsaw out of a piece of steel, and I never did make it 100% square across the top. So that's what I'm fixing to do next.